We are back in the storeroom. Welcome back to Mod and Pop Thrift. My name is Tom, and I'm a stay-at-home dad for 5 kids, and I run an eBay store that doesn't make a lot of money when I don't put a lot of work into it. Since my sales, like you can see, I kind of decided to scale back on what I was getting done for the holidays, and my kids kept getting sick, different stuff. There's a lot of stuff going around right now. You guys know what's up. So you can see that I kind of stopped effort on the 20th, and boom, my sales have dropped to about $100 a day. I got to get that straightened out, but we're still working on getting over everything. I thought we were past it yesterday, and then somebody else popped up sick. So we are doing our best, right? It's life. Hole punch, vintage and somewhat unique office supplies do pretty well. This, I paid 10 cents for this at a thrift store that marks things for 10 cents, and they're not even in business anymore. Big surprise. Paid 10 cents for this at a thrift store, and it sold for $7.95. It's probably been around a year, but it's $7 plus shipping. It's super easy. It doesn't take much to store. Sits in a bin. Vintage staplers, vintage like paper files, older high quality, like this is made out of steel. You couldn't buy one that you could throw this through a windshield. You could. So old heavy duty paper supply, office supplies. This is just a circle hole punch. Can do well. Listage Girl, American Girl, 2008. Worth mentioning the looseness of the legs. If you got these listings, people do refurbish these the same as like GI Joes. So sold for $27. I paid like $6. Same thrift store where I bought the hole punch. And let me know in the comments, do your thrift stores do this? Because it's reasonably common around here for like mom and pop thrift stores, but not like Goodwill. And you even see them at Goodwill sometimes. A like clear vase that's like 16 inches tall, just full of costume jewelry. This one was like $8, and it was all watches. And I saw this one in there, and it's a Seiko. And I was like, okay, well, I bought the whole thing, and I let it sit for like 2 years. And then eventually I did go through it, and I got this one, and this one works. There was a Seiko that didn't work. I listed it separately, and then I just made a huge pile of the rest of the watches to see if anybody wants them, but I don't have much into them once that thing sold, and they're not worth much of anything because they're like Claire's and Burger King's. There was a couple of cool, like, if they were working, they're not worth buying a battery for to see if they work, but like SpongeBob from the early 2000s, cartoon things that if they were working, I might have listed individually. Barbie, older Barbie one. Anyway, I sold that watch. These 3 Skylander things, I don't even know what they are. Somebody sent me a message and asked if they were factory reset. I can't imagine. Maybe they store some kind of data. I have no idea. But I didn't answer them in the middle of the night when I saw that question, and they sold in the morning. I don't remember what they sold for. Like $12, $14, something like that. $17.99 plus shipping. So I'm doing well on these Skylanders. I would not recommend buying Skylanders for... Buy a huge lot for not very much money, and you'll do okay. But if you're buying like 10 for $1 a piece, you may not do so hot. A lot of them are not worth the money. You may remember when I picked these up from that auction house, I got like 40. And these are the last ones to sell because the rest of them weren't worth a listing, and I ended up giving them to my kids. It's not true. There's one more. There's a Donkey Kong one that was worth listing. So out of those 25, 30 that I had available to me, I probably would have listed the rest in lots, but only like 6 or 8 were worth listing individually or in small lots. So don't go watching my video and thinking, oh, that guy sells Skylanders and makes so much money. Tread lightly on the Skylanders. Go in super cheap, get a bunch, do some research. You can do well with Skylanders, but chances are good most of the Skylanders, it's like Beanie Babies. There's probably a handful of Beanie Babies that are worth your time if you tread lightly, but most people don't bother. Skylanders are in that same ballpark. There are some if you want to mess with them, but don't spend a lot of money on them. Don't assume that the vast majority are even worth the time it takes to list. And these, oddly enough, are regaining popularity. If you are from the 90s, early 2000s, you'll remember when this was the premier flashlight. Made in the US, Maglite. Cops carried these. This is the 3-cell. There was a longer one that was a 4-cell. They take 4D batteries and they double as a weapon. And they made it one of the brightest lights that was available then, because we didn't use a lot of LEDs and we didn't use a lot of, we didn't have lithium ion batteries. So we're using alkaline batteries and filament lights, and these were premier flashlights back in the day. This one is red, which helps it, but it's scratched up, which doesn't, and it that actually will clean off, but I sold it like that was a big scratch. Anyway, it's not in fantastic shape. The in-package ones can be 50 bucks. I paid not much, $2.29 probably for this. It was on a video just a couple of days ago, and then it sold for $15, $16, something like that. Yeah, $15 plus shipping. So not a huge flip, but if you're finding these and they're cheap because they're old flashlights that nobody cares about, sometimes they can be worth some money. Goodwill. I am out running a handful of errands, had to take some stuff to UPS. Just figured I'd pop in here. It's in the neighborhood, friendly neighborhood Goodwill. I was in here yesterday. Who knows what we'll find. This is nuts. $50 for a shelf because it's sealed and it's water damaged. And that's crazy. These mantle clocks, you notice me looking at them every time. Very few and far between are these going to be worth anything, but the ones that are really, really good. And I don't assume that these guys know the difference. And I don't always know the difference, but I have the internet on my phone. This is interesting. Probably nothing. Oh, that record player's still here. Look at this thing. Whoa, I think my wife's grandma would really like this chair, but I'm looking at this about $60, and it's quite a bit scratched up. And it's like Hobby Lobby special kind of thing. It's not anything art, real art. Nerf, I think this is Tiger. Laser tag. I think that this is interesting. It's got a dent in it, and it's only $1.14. But because Iron Flask is a good brand, but because this is only 16 ounces, it's probably not worth getting. It would be if it was 32 ounces. It would be excellent, but the 16s don't do as well. Here there was a couple of interesting kinds of shoes. These are 857s, and I'm not familiar with them yet. I'm going to comp them. They're cheap. They are $7.99. It is my understanding that New Balance, those numbers, the bigger the numbers are, the harder they are and more desirable, generally speaking. And then there's this pair that are $9.26, and they don't look, they're like a walking shoe, but I don't know if they're designed to look like that or not with the toe way up. I'm gonna look them up. The 926 is not a super desirable shoe, and as I suspected, it's not supposed to be like that. I thought it might be like a walking shoe in the vein of Skechers shape-ups, but it's not. The only sold version of this is a size 18. I kind of believe it probably only sold because it's an 18, so we're gonna pass on those. Hollywood Regency table, $44. That's probably a real good score for somebody. I saw this yesterday. It is Cars 2. I was tempted to pick it up, but I couldn't find anything on it. Here she comes with a new cart. New cart, we have catchphrase. Catchphrase. both $2.29. This Lego 3000. This thing, which is from 1989 and is $1.14. Let's see if she works.
This is a dog.
And a couple of Bentgo boxes, and I don't know if that's the name brand that I should be looking for. So we're gonna figure out what those are. What should I be picking up over here? Gotta be something to make money on these shelves, but it's not the kind of thing I know a lot about. Okay, so we're back at home. My phone died in the middle of Goodwill, and I don't know what you saw and what you didn't, but I found an item and I'm like, no, please have enough to video getting this thing, and it didn't. So I'm gonna show you that last. I ended up, without my phone, I couldn't run comps on a bunch of things, and so I ended up putting back some stuff, and I will have already put the comps up before you see this. I suspect it was the things, the Lego, the catchphrase things that I wasn't sure about anyway, and so I put those back. I ended up with just a handful of things. So let's go over what we found. This is retro Wranglers, but it's new with tag. Also, it will fit me. And so I paid $7 for it. I'm gonna run the comps, but if it fits me in a way that I like, I probably will keep that. I got these books are 50 cents a piece. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50. $5.50 worth of books. I should be able to list these for $20 plus media mail shipping. The market's cooled a little bit on Babysitter's Club. Last summer, 2 years ago, I probably could have gotten $35 for these, but they're non-consecutive, so there are not two in a row, numerically. So they're just kind of a mishmash. So if I had 11 in this lot and it was number 1 to 11, that would be significantly better. But this being what it is, I paid $5.50. I should get $20 for them. This works super well, considering that it is.
This is a dog.
This is from 1988. I should get $20 plus shipping for it. Maybe 10, maybe $12, $15. Paid $1.15. Mattel 1988, 1989. Should get 12 or 15 shipped plus shipping out of that. $3.99. Now I didn't notice until I already had them paid for that this is 2008. But I'm going to sell them because I've got them. They're sealed. Should get about $15 plus shipping for those. This is, the last time we were at Goodwill, I said, if this was the Tiger version, which is, this is what I was thinking of. And it is Tiger, but it's also Nerf. These are, were a lot better a couple of years ago, but 15, maybe $20 plus shipping. I paid $5 for this. My dad has a pretty good sized collection of these for all his grandkids, but I think he's got one for everybody. But I can test this, fully test it with his other ones, and we can sell them. And then this bag of accessories was taped to this board game, and it was $3.99. This bag of accessories has nothing to do with this board game, but Fireball Island, Milton Bradley, 1986. This is Dark Tower level, crazy, insanely expensive, rare, hard to find. This one has one messed up corner. Yeah, so it's got a big crack there. Otherwise, I think it's in pretty darn good shape. I probably get $25 plus shipping out of this. this bag of accessories, this bag of random animals was taped to this. And I was hoping that there would be any accessory, because there are no accessories for this game that aren't worth a bunch of money. But I just got a crappy bag of animals that I'll probably donate back rather than step up or pick up off of the kids' floor. So that's what we got. This was the big find. Not that it's huge money, but it's Fireball Island. It's a Bolo bucket list game. And then some 4 into 20, 2 into 15, 5 into 20, 5 into 15, and then 7 into, I don't know, but maybe it's a shirt I'll keep. Levi's in his pajamas and going to tell you to like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe wherever the button is. Maybe on my dad's face, who knows.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.